You are listening to the Wear Wag Repeat podcast, the only show 100% dedicated to supporting women in all areas of the pet industry. Hi there, I'm your host, Tori Mystic, and I am excited to bring you a new solo episode today. And I want to start with asking you a question. Are you struggling with perfectionism? Join the club. This is a major struggle for me. So in this episode, I hope that we can all learn to embrace done is better than perfect. I say that a little bit reluctantly because I'm trying so hard to embrace that mindset, but it's hard. I'm going to share with you a story about a retreat that I recently went on with a few entrepreneurial friends that is inspiring me to try to adopt this new mindset. I'm thinking about what if doing less was actually better? I am so reluctant to change my mindset on this, but what if doing less actually was better? What if the tasks that we needed to do for our business were easy? Just imagine. Related to this, in Wear Wag Repeat Society last month, we were talking about work-life balance. And I asked everyone how they would spend extra free time if they had it. So if they could get more done in their business in less time and they had all this free time, what would they do? So I would love to hear your answer to that question, and I will share mine later on in this episode. So starting off, I do want to share with you a story about this retreat that I went on with two of my entrepreneurial friends. My friends Monica and Angelica. They are business owners here in Pittsburgh. Angelica was actually a guest expert in Wear Wag Repeat Society earlier this summer because she is a copywriting whiz. She is so good with words, and she taught a great lesson in Wear Wag Repeat Society that is available in the archive. So if you are a member or you're thinking of joining, you can access all of the archives anytime that you want. We have lessons going back to January 2021. So there's a ton of stuff to learn in there. And we have a great lesson this month that is about how to write a really amazing email welcome sequence. If you don't have an email welcome sequence that automatically sends to new people who join your email list, or if you haven't touched it in a long time, or if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you're definitely going to want to catch this lesson. I'll be teaching it live later on this week, the first week of August, in Wear Wag Repeat Society. But of course, that will be in the archives immediately as soon as I'm done teaching it. So you can view the replay of that too if you're not available for the live lesson. So anyhow, back to this retreat that I was on last week. Monica and Angelica and I have been talking about business and life for the past, 5 or 6 years. And we went away for just 2 nights last week. And of course, we couldn't help but talk about some personal development and self-improvement and how could we kind of hack our productivity or hack our happiness. These are the kind of topics that we love to talk about. So, Monica had an idea that she'd learned on a podcast on her drive down to our little retreat, that we might go around the room and talk about what we thought our limiting beliefs were. And we went around and we each talked about what we thought they were, and we know each other really well. So we were all able to give input on what we thought the other one's limiting beliefs might be. Of course, all in a supportive, kind way to kind of help us learn and become better, right? So the limiting belief for me that really stuck out is my perfectionism. I really want everything to be perfect. I want everything that I produce to be perfect I've already kind of flubbed a few little lines in this recording, and guess what, people? I'm leaving it in because done is better than perfect. Repeat, done is better than perfect. I'm trying to make it sink into my mind. So I was talking with Monica and Angelica about this perfectionism, and what kind of came up was, what if it was easy? What if it was simple? Or, this is my favorite one, what can I get away with? How little can I get away with? And I'll tell you, that was pretty triggering for me. And so that's why I think it's my favorite one, because it kind of generated the biggest emotional response. I can feel like a physical response in my body. I get a little anxious when I think, how simple could I make it? What could I get away with this? Do I have to make it like this masterpiece with every single detail considered? Or could I get away with making it a little bit simpler and easier? And what if it was actually better if it was simpler and easier? I am having a physical reaction to this concept. And it's really interesting, and it was really coming to light for me earlier this week, which is why I decided to share this in this episode, because I have been working on a new canine enrichment activity pack mini course. I shared about this in my last solo episode, and I have been working away to get it ready to launch this week. I'm going to be sharing it with people who are part of my 10-day Old Dog New Tricks challenge. So we have a couple hundred people participating in that challenge, and I am going to release this mini course to them. They're going to get their paws on it first. So I'm very excited about that. And I was working on it this week. And of course, I want it to be perfect. I want it to be perfect, if you will. And so I was editing the videos yesterday or Monday maybe, and I was going through them. I'm adding voiceovers. I am tightly editing every video so that it's just doesn't have any extra. It's just the perfect amount, the right amount of information. So I'm editing everything. I'm adding these voiceovers. Then I'm exporting the video, uploading it to a tool I used called Cast Magic that does a great job of creating transcripts and caption files. So I'm grabbing the caption file, I'm grabbing the transcript, I'm putting the transcript into ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT to come up with a numbered step-by-step guide of how to do these different canine enrichment activities. And I'm putting this all in Teachable, where my course is hosted. And while the video is uploading to Teachable, I'm thinking to myself, oh, this would be better if I had a pretty thumbnail for every video. So I'm going over to Canva, I'm making a thumbnail for everyone, exporting that, uploading that. You get the picture. I was doing a lot. I don't know if I would say I was doing too much, because to me, I'm really happy with how it's turning out, but I was doing a lot. And I realized that I was doing a lot when I took a break from working on my course, and I went over to rewatch a workshop from another entrepreneur, an online entrepreneur that I really admire. She has an extremely successful business. I'm an affiliate for her. I love everything that she does. I sign up for everything that she does, and I really admire her. She does a great job. So I wanted to get some information. I remembered she had a workshop on something that I was trying to do. So I looked it up because, like I said, I buy everything that she does. So I knew I had this workshop, this recording somewhere. Well, I went and I looked at it yesterday, and it's a 2-hour long Zoom recording. It's not edited down at all. There was no transcript below the video. There was no time-stamped reference of where you could find what. And girl, this was 2 hours long. So to go in and find the information I wanted to find, it was pretty difficult. And on the side, there was like an auto-generated transcript, but you couldn't download that. There was a search bar, so that was kind of handy. But there was no slides. that you could download. It was literally just a recorded Zoom call that had a live Q&A at the end of it, and nothing was edited. There was a cute thumbnail uploaded, I believe, but it was so simple. And I realized I had this light bulb moment of, this woman has figured it out. She's figured out, what if it was easy? How little could I get away with and still make it valuable and great and wonderful? And I'm not critiquing her style or her approach at all. In fact, I'm inspired by it. Of course, I can't help myself. I am still going to have my transcripts and all my other stuff, my closed captioning, and that's important to me to have. And I really want to make sure there's always a written option for people, because not everyone wants to sit and watch a video, and we all just learn in different ways. So I'm not critiquing what she's doing. There's many different approaches to doing things. However, she sells this workshop. She doesn't sell it for a lot. She only sells it for $12 at the moment, but she's selling it, and I know people are buying it. Heck, I have bought it just as it is. It still provides great value. And she didn't have to spend hours and hours uploading, exporting, downloading, importing, all the crap I've been doing for the past week and a half to get my course ready. And I'm going to be selling mine for a pretty similar price point, under $20, as to what she's doing. So it was really just kind of like a little light bulb moment for me. And I wanted to share that with you, because I want you to consider that maybe you're doing too much. You know, when can we recognize that we're doing enough, that we don't always need to do more than enough? I don't know if you saw the Barbie movie, but this, of course, ties into the Barbie movie, which I loved. And there is a wonderful speech. I think it's the America Ferrera speech that she gives to a lot of the Barbies, and she just gives to the group about, you know, as women, we need to do everything, and we need to do it perfectly, and how unfair that is. And, you know, we can change it. So you and I'm going to start right now of trying not to be perfect and feeling like I don't have to do absolutely everything. So maybe in a non-sleazy way, ask yourself, what if you could get away with less? If you did less, maybe you could get the helpful information and education out to people sooner. That's what I'm thinking. This canine enrichment course is chock full of amazing mental enrichment activities that I can't find anywhere else online. I searched on YouTube, and all that comes up is Kongs and topples and puzzles. And I created this activity pack with 10 activities that don't require you to buy any new toys. I don't even use the word topple in the course at all. I know, shocker for me, right? Because I do love my Westpaw topple. But this mental enrichment pack is so full of information. I really want to get it into people's hands, because I think that people don't always understand what mental enrichment or cognitive enrichment is for their dogs. It's not just licking peanut butter out of a toy, or doing the same puzzle day after day. So I know that this information is important. It could improve people's lives. It can improve pets' lives. It could actually help your pet live longer, because cognitive enrichment has been proven to help people and pets live longer, healthier, happier lives. So if I am doing too much and trying to make it perfect before I release it, I'm kind of being unfair to my audience, because I'm not getting this information to them. So if I have to do a little bit less, make it enough, but not too much in order to get it out there, that's what I need to do. I really owe it to people. Can you tell I'm trying to convince myself of this? So I could really use your support. If anyone wants to send me some words of encouragement that I'm doing enough, I would really appreciate you. And I appreciate you just for listening to this. So of course, I would never put out something that I'm not proud of, but I'm just thinking about, what could I get away with? And of course, this is going to apply to my blog too. I am notorious to myself and my sister, who hears all of my whining, that I spend, over 10 hours working on some of my blog posts. I spend so long on a lot of my blog posts, and I want them to be perfect, and I want them to have the right keywords. But recently, I've just been thinking, what if I just crank it out? I do the best that I can, but I give myself some kind of time constraint. 1 hour does not seem like enough time, but maybe 2 or 3 hours, I could write it, I could edit it, I could put links in it and photos in it and all the stuff and just get it published. Because what I realized doing my blogging challenge back in June is that I just need to publish more blog posts, and they don't need to be perfect, but it's really kind of not just purely volume. It has to be smart. I have to have the right keywords. It has to be topics that I'm interested in and passionate about. So it does have to, meet certain parameters. It can't just be like publishing anything. But I could certainly do less, and that might be better, put less time, but have more product to show for it. What do you think about that? I told you at the beginning of the episode that I would share with you my response to what I would do with my free time. I want to end this episode on that because I want to hear what you would do with your free time. I had a lot of fun hearing people's responses in Wear Wag Repeat Society. And by the way, if you're interested in joining, like I said, this month's lesson will be taught live in just a couple of days, and we are working on our email welcome sequence. I have a list of 4 emails that you need to have in your welcome sequence in order to tell your new subscribers who you are, what you do, what you sell, and to get them really excited about being on your email list and opening your emails forever and ever, right? That's our hope. And the great thing about a welcome sequence is it is automated. It goes out to people automatically when they subscribe. So that is the definition of doing less and getting more results. So it's all coming together. So anyhow, we were talking in Wear Wag Repeat Society, we're always trying to be more productive. How could I get more done? How can I do this more efficiently? At least that's what I'm always trying to think about. But why? What's the point? If you have more free time, is there actually something you want to do with your free time? Or are you just going to fill that time up with more work? So I think that, work-life balance is really important. A lot of us are getting burnt out because we're saving time and we're filling that time with more work. I saw something recently or sometime, they were talking about, when the washing machine was invented or the dishwasher was invented and how, this is going to save women so much time. But not really, because while the dishwasher is running, you're doing something else. We're always multitasking. While the clothes are in the washing machine, of course, you're not outside scrubbing clothes in a wash basin and hanging them up on the line. But while the clothes are in the washing machine, you're probably not just, sitting around or pursuing a hobby. You're probably not sitting next to the washing machine, like painting a landscape painting or something. It's not really saving us time. It's saving us work, I guess. So anyhow, I'm getting off track here, which I tend to do. But if you had more free time, what would you do with it? I really want to know what your answer is. So please send me a DM. You can send me a voice note. You can come to the Wear Wag Repeat Labs Facebook group. You can comment. You can leave a review for this podcast in Apple Podcasts, and you can tell me. I really genuinely would love to hear what you would do with your time. Everyone has a different response. So for me, This summer I've been going to the farmer's market a ton, and I really love to cook healthy and interesting recipes, but usually at the end of the day, I'm a little too burnt out and tired to do that. So I think if I had a lot more free time on a day-to-day basis, I would go to the farmer's market. Not every day, because there probably is one every day, but I'd have to drive around. But I'd go to different farmers markets multiple times a week, have delicious, fresh, amazing food, and I would cook up some really amazing meals. And then I would have time to sit and enjoy and savor my meals and hang out with friends. And that's what I would do if I had extra free time. So I would love to hear what you would do with your free time. I'm not going to have that free time today because I am finishing this canine enrichment mental activity pack. I'm going to finish it today, guys, and it is going to be available for people in the Old Dog New Tricks 10-day challenge later this week. They're going to be able to sign up. So I'm really excited to just get that finished. Done is better than perfect. Repeat after me. Done is better than perfect. We can do this together. I believe in you and I believe in myself. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I'll be back next Wednesday with a new interview episode with another inspiring and amazing woman in the pet industry. If you want to learn anything about Wear Wag Repeat, you can go to wearwagrepeat.com. You'll find my blog, courses, check out the tools page where I've listed some of my favorite tools and resources for pet parents. And on that page, there's a separate link to the tools and resources for pet pros. So if you're wondering what email system I use or what my favorite online courses are or the lighting and tripod setup I use for photos and calls, you can find all of those links at wearwagrepeat.com. Thanks again for listening. And if you do have a few extra moments today, I would really appreciate if you left a review for the show in Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you have a perfectly imperfect day.